outdoors, indoors. It's rocking. Human beings, that's right, fans. College basketball safely distanced, certainly. Excited to bring you Utah State going toe-to-toe with Nevada on Fox Sports 1 inside the D. Glenn Smith Spectrum. He's Doug Gottlieb.
Remarkable. And in just 3 short years, he's earned himself what was announced this week to be a 5-year contract extension. He's not going anywhere for a while.
Right away we go, and you will hear fans. You will hear noise, obviously capped at about 1,600 fans as we take a peek at the clock, the scoreboard right away.
Steve Alford, his credibility couldn't be better in this league where he used to dominate at New Mexico, and it looks like he's got them close again.
Frustration now, both coaching staffs, as the clock is not working again.
Feels like an AAU game. Clock! Start the clock!
You can see Craig Smith.
Guy's like, I pressed the button.
Step away.
I pressed the button.
We're looking at the clock. We're looking. It's running. The clock is running. The clock is running. Folks, the clock is running. The crowd is making noise. Anderson will go to the line right away and get a chance to.
Of course, he gets fouled. That's all my information on it. I got nothing else on Alfonso. 0.
Foster, the freshman, whistled for his first team foul.
They're going right to the post. There's Coleman and Trey Coleman, another freshman. And he used the age and experience of Alfonso Anderson. Highly touted junior college transfer last year, but just kind of the numbers game. This is a really good basketball team. Of course, last year, Nemi Keita missed part of the year with a knee injury. We're still having clock issues. It should be 1942. The guy with the clock's like, I pressed the button. They swear to God, I pressed the button. Guy next to him's like, I don't know. Got a new clock.
And now the home fans having a good time. Anderson, by the way, getting that start you're talking about his JUCO run. They won a lot at Northern Idaho. He was excellent. As a matter of fact, he came up big in big games for them. This is a guy that shoots about 80% from the line as they navigate the clock still. Well, you know, you go through all of it, right, folks? You have the production meeting. You know, you gather, you talk about what we're going to talk about. We look at all the elements. And we have fans in the stands. Gottlieb's next door getting a big workout in. I mean, everything is leading to this moment where we sit and look at them work on the clock.
Steve Alford's seen it all, right? He's literally seen it all.
And it's fun to be close, obviously. It's fun to be close, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Sitting down low and enjoying this view, close to the folks, socially distanced, fans behind us.
This way, right? Sit to my left, sit to my left, and I turned the wrong way. I did that thing. I did that thing that you do. Yeah, I mean, like, look, it's starting to feel a little bit normal. There, they got the new clock.
They're literally replacing it,
There we go. We are switching out clocks.
We'll step aside for just a moment while they switch out the clocks on worldwide television.
He said that it couldn't be done, but you managed to pack a record 1.1 trillion transistors into this chip.
Oh, hi. I invested in Invesco QQQ, a fund that invests in the innovators of the NASDAQ 100, like you.
You don't have to be a circuit design engineer to help push progress forward.
Can I hold the chip?
Become an agent of innovation with Invesco QQQ.
Trying to crank up the energy back here in Logan, Utah on campus, Utah State. The one thing you know when you see Utah State play is you're seeing a special player, a future pro in Nemi Keita. As a matter of fact, his last 2 games are ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. 32-10, 30-11 against Boise State. They just let him have at it, and he did.
Well, and it's not, and the points on offense are usually great because what he does on defense, but he's become a dominant player, and this is why he came back. Such a smart decision because, you know, so oftentimes guys go the second they can get drafted, right? Or for a guy that played for Benfica, he could have gone back to Europe and played and made a ton of money. But you want to be dominant at this level. And his freshman year, he was He was absolutely special, but he wasn't dominant, you know? Now Nimikeda has become a dominant player to where you're like, all right, because your role's not going to change that much. If you come in as just a roller and a shot blocker, that's what you're going to be most of your career. And now he's really improved his shooting touch, his back to the basket game, just his all-around basketball skill.
And he's a mad shot blocker, no doubt about it. As a matter of fact, when you take a look at some advanced metrics, defensive box plus minus, NCAA all the way across the board, he's number one in the country. Franz Wagner behind him, Michigan, Isaiah Jackson, Kentucky behind him, Alex Lomax, Memphis. Those are some of the other great defenders. Advanced metrics have him number one. Changes shots, adjusts shots, blocks shots. Next level player, a guy that plays in the NBA?
Yes. I don't know if he's a starter or not. But he moves very well. He defends the rim. He's a pretty good role guy. And he's gotten to where he can make a shot. And it's pretty obvious with all the time he spends at the Wayne Estes Center that he's a guy who will put in the work.
Tomorrow, by the way, with the Big Ten title race coming down to the wire, it's the third-ranked Michigan Wolverines going head-to-head with Trace Jackson Davis and Indiana. That's tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. Eastern on Fox and on the Fox Sports app.
So here's the way it looks. Like Indiana's very much kind of playing their way to the bubble, right? So people think like that's, okay, so we're on the bubble, so we're in as of now. Like, look, Indiana can either play their way in or play their way out of the NCAA tournament. And at 7-9 in the league, and some bad losses recently. He just got eviscerated by Rutgers the other day on Fox Sports 1. You drop your last two, and everybody's going to lose their last game in the Big Ten tournament unless you win it. You obviously play for it. They ain't getting in. I don't care what it says in bracketology now. That's fluid. Bracketology is a snapshot of today based upon what Mike DeCourcy and other experts think would happen on Selection Sunday if today was Selection Sunday. That guy right there can hoop.
Yeah, he's special. That's the other one you really want to watch tonight. Grant Sherfield, Texan, sophomore. Just getting started at the Division I level. 19 plus 4, but 6 assists. He's a creator and a shooter.
He's tremendous. So what we're going to keep track of is what he does going to his right hand. He is filthy with his right hand. A lot like Bryce UNLV. Hamilton. Right, how Bryce goes left. Now,
yes.
He'll even go left when he's going right, but it has a good little pullback on his right. Grant can go left, but man, he likes to come back to that right hand, and he is nasty. And we saw him almost single-handedly. They beat Boise based upon his ability to beat you off that ball screen.
We may be showing you basketball in a minute.
And that man next to him, number 4, Desmond Cambridge. Tremendous player out of the Nashville area. Went to Brown for a couple years. Played for Mike Martin, transferred into Nevada. And he is a bucket.
15 plus, there you go.
Desmond Cambridge, they will run him off a million screens. Now, he's shown the ability to do more than just catch and shoot, but when he catches and shoots in rhythm, whew.
Hey, you had a good one last night, by the way.
San Diego State Boise game,
wow.
Overtime.
Really good one. 74-72, the San Diego State victory. The final, they improved to 12-3.
They were up 17 in the first half.
Takeaways
from that game?
Yep. San Diego State. Folks, by the way, Mountain West Conference, those two teams, San Diego State and Boise State.
A lot of takeaways. Big picture stuff, I think they're both two very, very good teams. And San Diego State's outstanding defensively. But I think one of the reasons that they get these big leads and then give them away is I think they're playing too many guys. For Boise State, their starters were their weakness last night. And Leon Rice went to his bench, went to a press, a more athletic lineup. I'll be real, tomorrow they play again. I will be interested to see which way Boise plays.
Anderson with the best. Bean hustles after the basketball. They love him here, Justin.
No, it's working. Now it's running. No, it's working. when the home team players are frustrated. But that clock was running.
Bean chased it down. The crowd went sideways. The clock did start.
Well, was that Miller who hit the three? I think Justin Bean hit the three.
I think Miller followed it. Bean grabbed it. Let's see the clock one more time here.
Doesn't move. Now it moves. And gets it. Yeah, it's working. Well, it's better to get it fixed now than to get it fixed later, right?
Yes.
Like, hey, we got like 30 seconds left. Oh my gosh, it's not moving.
Mr. Bean inbounds the basketball. Justin the junior. Justin had about 10 points, 7 rebounds a game. Also a guy that will get deep. Try to dump it into Anderson. Up with it quickly. Bean with the lid on the bucket. Keita can't grab the basketball. Folks, we're playing. We're playing. Gottlieb, Darren Sutton, and you. We were talking about Cambridge a moment ago. Coleman with the ball in his hands. Trey, the freshman. Indiana. Steve Alford, Indiana. Up in there, a block shot. Best defender in the nation. One of. He didn't even leave his feet, did he?
Nah, I don't know. Warren Washington kind of lost the ball. He didn't want that smoke.
Miller short. Keita grabs it and restarts things.
Well, second straight offensive rebound for the Aggies. Starting with that big lineup.
Quick whistle. Trying to knock that one free. Coleman his first. Team's second personal foul. Utah State, these 2 games, Nevada, then Wyoming March 4th, and then Fresno State.
They're going big for
on
big.
the road.
Look at that. Himes coming in. That's 2 big bodies for Nevada.
Bean. Money. Justin Bean. 17% from distance, not his specialty, certainly. Defense there. Anthony picks the pocket. Marco gets things going. An extra pass to Miller. Miller, long distance. It's short. Maybe Keita. They got him underneath. Frustrated with that call, Warren Washington.
Well, look, when you shoot 17%, they're going to dare you. Hands down. And Justin Bean makes them pay. The question becomes, Himes, now on this possession, ran out and closed out like he was Steph Curry. So you still got to play the possessions, but you got to figure out, does he shoot 17% when he's wide open and you kind of guilt him into shooting it, or when it's challenged?
Will fade along the baseline, missed by Bean. You're talking about Himes coming in. The 6'10" the sophomore, Hillcrest Prep in Phoenix. With the basketball in his hands now. The other man that's earning some time is Daniel Foster, 20, the Australian. Little jump hook. Keita grabs a defensive rebound. Utah State up 4-0 to start this thing. Keita, hello. 2 steps back to the free throw line.
Neemias Keita is really improving in season. You know, it's one of the things that we sometimes don't talk enough about. Guys don't just improve in the offseason. They can improve in season. And you look at his point totals, his confidence, his shooting stroke, it's all getting better while we're playing basketball.
Keita's 79th career game. Utah State 58-20 in games in which he plays. Just lost the basketball.
Second time they've had a ball slip out of his hands. Here's Himes, a little jump hook, and Neemias Keita, quick jumping, keeping Warren Washington off, and then reward the big fella. Splash.
Something key you talk about with Des Cambridge. What do you do there? That's twice. Slipping right through his fingers.
I don't know.
Almost hit a baseball run to grab some pine tar.
Warren Washington lost the last one. Yeah, I think you got to check the ball.
Yeah, it was Washington. Good reminder. And then Cambridge. Anderson. The firm off the back of the iron. Opportunity for first points for Nevada. Excited to be playing. Obviously, all these games postponed. Foster, short. They're coming off a 4-game winning streak, Nevada. And then losing games. Got to be hard for Alford and his squad. And it's turned over, being a couple of errant passes early on. Getsy to dump it in there, but you got to try it. Shot block again. Hines comes up empty. Hines averages 7 points, 4 rebounds a game. He had 17 with 3 rebounds earlier this year against Wyoming. Cambridge to Foster, you said it.
Silky smooth, Desmond Cambridge.
Cade on the offensive end, Cade on the defensive end. He can pass too. Shares the basketball a ton, goes to work. It's right there for him. Nice job defensively. Really nice job. Strong stop there by Washington. Anderson stepped up defensively. Quick dump out, nowhere close for Desmond Cambridge. The advanced metrics tell us this is the best defender in the land. What does the eye test say? Interesting. They line up. It was an incredible weekend looking back to Super Bowl weekend, especially Sunday. Grant Sherfield, who a couple of days prior had hit the game winner, just went off. He had 29 points, he had 8 rebounds, and rocked Coach Rice in Boise State.
He is tremendous. Grew up in Kansas, 6th grade, moved down to Fort Worth, came back and went to Sunrise Christian Academy his last year in high school, then went to Wichita State. He was committed to play for Steve Alford at UCLA. Alford got fired. He instead went to play for Greg Marshall. Of course, as most people know, mass exodus at Wichita State, and he ended up here back with the guy who recruited him originally in Steve Alford.
He has had some really special wins, and we'll show you a little bit later what he did a couple of days prior to that with a game winner, but just a massive weekend while the world was watching football. Boise State fans were seeing that man just ruin their weekend.
Speaking of Wichita State, congratulations to now former interim head coach Isaac Brown, today named the full-time head coach, and that is an earned appointment. They had 8 guys leave, and then they had a massive scandal with Greg Marshall.
Logan, Utah, Doug Gottlieb, Darren Sutton, and you, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. We trust your week to this point has been a good one. We're glad to have you with us. Kind of a sluggish start to this one.
Yep.
Utah State 2 of 9, Nevada 1 of 6. Somebody figures it out soon. Well, that's what's a big part of it. That's 3. 3 blocks for Cada. Goodness gracious.
Robbie Robinson getting some minutes here. The junior college transfer for Nevada as they're trying to figure out what lineup works best.
3 turnovers by Bean alone. Robinson earning some minutes now, number 1 in that Navy jersey. Sherfield tried to slip the pass into Foster. Hines goes strong with conviction and a bucket.
Hines really had an outstanding season. Since they've gone to one big guy for the most part, he's actually played better.
Back the other way again. Sherfield. All day long they'll give it to him. And certainly not his specialty. 5 of 16, 31% from 3. That's all Cada. When you got a center shooting threes, that's all Nimi Cada.
Sure. Well, part of it is that is his game, is in his DNA. He's just got to get better at it. You want to open up that floor.
Just a soft, too easy. Think about doubling there at all, Doug?
Not yet. I mean, I think they want to take a couple looks. They've done a decent job. He's missed some shots on post-ups. And one of the things that happens when you post a guy up is there's no real... That was too far. And that block, 2 hands.
Yeah, that's 4 now.
Beautiful pass here, but Robbie Robinson, he's too far off to catch this. And Nimi Keita, access denied. Blocked it with 2 hands. And this is what Nimi Keita does. Look at the recovery here. Comes back, defending the ball screen. And, you know, they have usually the big kind of crepe paper Nimi Keita hands that the students hold up.
He sits, if only for a moment. How much fun is it to watch him play? I might be over-crediting him. The official stats have 3. Oh, speaking of 3, baby Sherfield. That was a good 5 strides behind that line. At least. Utah State still pretty sloppy. They get it into the hands of Stephen Ashworth, the freshman, the local product.
There's going to be some big moments for Stephen Ashford. Just going to try and keep him away from Grant Sherfield.
Buried that pass into the corner.
And the Utah State playing without Raleigh Worcester, their starting point guard, who is an absolute stud.
He's a special player, lining up for 3. One more time from distance.
Grant Sherfield, just get your hands down. I'll shoot that. Thank you. And Ashworth from Lone Peak, elite high school here in the state. We got a good one here in Logan, Utah. Fans in the stands and the Aggies up 4.
Yeah, Titanic Cam. That's right, Titanic Cam. That's what happens when you bring the fans back in. Thank you, Celine. Well done. Be safe on those seats. Mike Hill, Casey Jacobson are in studio. They'll chat all about Casey's 20 and 21 All-American team. First half analysis from Gottlieb and stats from me, all coming up on the halftime report. Titanic Cam, Doug Gottlieb.
Casey giving his all, you know, the all. I know Casey's giving the All-American team just because he's a former All-American. That's what those guys do, right? Again, I just happen to be a former All-American, so who knows former All-Americans like me?
So it's appropriate, you're saying?
It is very appropriate. Pride of Glendora High School, the Tartans.
3 of 12, Nevada, to start things. 4 of 12, Utah State. 3 turnovers for Utah State. Somehow it feels like more to this point.
So we discussed Kay Milling got fouled on the 3. And
yeah.
again, like the ties that bind. Casey's brother, Adam, is my teammate going back to 6th grade. He's a great shooter at Glendora, and then at Pacific Down associate head coach at Cal Baptist. And of course, part of our team when I was in high school is Kay Milling's dad, Kyle, who played at UC Santa Barbara and Oregon. Now a coach, Yokohama in Japan. And Kane, of course, born and grew up, played in France. Still kind of learning the American game.
Logan, Utah, D. Glenn, Sutton, and Gottlieb, and you. Thanks for being with us. Ashworth earning more and more minutes. He's asking for the basketball now. Nice job. Another turnover. Again, it feels like even more than 4. Utah State will tell you we're better at controlling the basketball than that. And Coleman, Trey with the tray.
You can't be named Trey and be from Indiana and not be able to shoot. You have to change your name and where you're from. Like Jeffersonville, right?
I think Naismith wrote it down somewhere.
Yes.
Another turnover. Sherfield with the lead pass. Coleman lowers his shoulder and is hammered, but there's a whistle. Shulga thought he got all basketball. Might have gotten some body from behind. Defensively, Max Shulga from the Ukraine.
You know, I really enjoy watching Grant Sherfield play. Just the ease of which he makes a bounce pass, and that's a bad call. He bumped him a little bit from behind. That's it. Especially considering as much as Coleman tried to create contact. There's a ball don't lie. Do they have a ball don't lie in baseball?
Yeah, I think so. Not as much, though.
No, the ball don't lie in baseball is when the guy gets brushed back and then he stands up and he hits home run, right? That's the right?
Yes. And that's actually ball don't lie. That definitely is more of a basketball thing, Gottlieb. I think you're more hip to the scene there. A little bit of pressure, full court. Nevada putting it on again. A couple of weeks since they have played. Ashworth, holy cow! Steven from Alpine shoots that one. Oh my goodness. Utah State, 3 makes, turnover. Look at that lead pass to Shoga. That's Ashworth setting that one up. Good vision by the freshman hitting Shulga. And Max averages just 1 point a game, so that's got to feel good. Had a couple of points, couple of rebounds in 9 minutes. Gets Boise State back the other way.
Well, speaking of the freshman Ashworth, this kid can shoot it. Same spot as his other 3, just a little bit deeper, in range, in rhythm. Smash. And then a freshman mistake, really, Grant Sherfield, where he didn't get back on defense. But I can't emphasize enough, like, this is a really good Utah State team, and they're playing without probably their second best player. And maybe most important player in a Raleigh Worcester.
But it's a great opportunity as Cada comes up with the miss. A wonderful opportunity for a guy like Ashworth to really earn his stripes controlling the offense. He has had 5+ assists 6 times this year. Up with it along the baseline, a little bit firm. Mimi Cada, I've got it. 10 minutes to go till the gentlemen are back in the locker room. Mimi, short.
This is called compounding mistakes, okay? Grant Sherfield's an outstanding player. He's a sophomore point guard. All right, so you want to make him go to his right. I'm going to make him go to his left, and this is why. Kind of leaves his feet. That's one mistake, but that's compounding a mistake. You turned over, you're the point guard. You got to be back. Instead, he kind of pouted a little bit, then he tapped his chest and said, my bad. You're Grant Sherfield. You can't compound mistakes.
Foster sits. Kwame KJ Himes Jr. comes on. He talked about what Cada did. He was just ridiculous against Boise State. They never doubled him. Followed. Bean. Bucket. Wow. Hello, Justin.
He is indefatigable. Indefatigable. He just comes in and plays hard, throws his body around.
He's playing in game number 85. He's really comfortable in this building. They all are. They came out. You could see a bounce in their step, Utah State. Nothing wrong with that effort by Washington at all. Took it right at Cada. Look at Nimi move. Look at him pass. Nothing there for Bean. Well, they cut firm, aggressive cuts. Time's disappearing. Shot clock is at 5. Miller, short. Brock Miller, the junior from Sandy, Utah. And his wife, Bailey, make this part of the world home for now, depending on what's next for Brock. The defense stepped, but not enough. Cambridge with the triple.
Well, what's so interesting is Nevada has been badly outplayed by Utah State. They're down 2 points. Some of it's because of the three-pointer. Some of it's because Utah State's struggling to score, especially without Raleigh Worcester.
Follow up your shot at all times. It pays off.
Yeah, I'm not a big follow your shot guy, but when you're a small forward or undersized power forward, that's pretty good. And then Desmond Cambridge, You just can't give him that kind of room. You're not in his airspace. That ball's going up.
Expound for the casual basketball fan on what you said about following your shot.
Well, obviously, it depends position-wise, right? Like,
sure.
If you're a 4 or 5, you can run to rebound. I just been programmed. I'm not a rebounder. Get back. You know, defensive balance is so much more important.
Speaking of balance,
yeah.
First of all, how was not an injury with the slip there? How did he not travel? And how was there a bucket at the end of all that? Just glad the groin's still in one place there. Yikes.
Yoga.
So being a big fan of hot yoga, according to Gottlieb.
That's right.
Combined 10, 11 turnovers. 11 turnovers.
All right, so basketball is a slow ballet or maybe a fast ballet. A little slip. Left foot didn't move. No travel. Bucket.
That hurt.
Aggies up 4.
Tomorrow, the former 2-time super middleweight world champion Anthony the Dog Durrell returns. He'll face off against the rising Tyrone Shut It Down Davis. Don't miss the action tomorrow on Fox and on the Fox Sports app. Bracketology. Doug Gottlieb, Darren Sutton, glad to have you back with us. What does the future look like, Mr. DeCourcy, when you take a peek at the big fellas with 9 and then on down? Your thoughts, sir?
I don't understand the ACC thing. The league's down. It's not particularly good, and I don't see it.
Okay.
I agree on the Big 12. The Big 10's it's fluid. Like Michigan State suddenly going like, hey, you know what? We decided to play basketball now. They're going to have 2 opportunities against Michigan at the end of the year. I think they win one of those. They win tomorrow. I think Michigan State's going to get in. I think Indiana loses to Michigan, and Indiana's playing themselves out. 1-3-1 zone out of the timeout. Why do you do that? Well, when coaches run ATOs after timeout plays, this takes them out of it. The only problem is the 1-3-1. There's the weakness, the corner jump shot.
Brock Miller crushes that one over the left field wall.
So Brock's dad played at BYU Hawaii, which, by the way, if you're going to play at one of the BYUs, no disrespect to Provo, a beautiful place, and a very good basketball team that also should play in the tournament. But BYU Hawaii sounds incredible.
His dad, Brett.
His 2 brothers play Division I as well.
Rolls into the Utah State bench. A turnover.
Yeah, I mean, Brock always says his brother Corbin, who played at Harvard's the best shooter in the family. I don't know. This kid can splash it. Alopecia assassin.
It's there for Bean. Oh, my goodness, with the English. Bean, that is.
He's like, yeah, I meant to do it. This guy, you want to know what's changed Utah State basketball? Man, look, they had an NBA player, an all-time great, and they got another one here. But I'm telling you, they win games because of that dude.
Shooting 1.
You know? You did a little UCLA cut, catches, finishes.
So first you have what every other human being would have done, a torn groin earlier on the splits. Then you have that. He's Plastic Man. Out of that toy, by the way.
I know what you're talking about. I never had.
No Stretch Armstrong either?
No, you're a little older than me. I'm
quite a bit older than you. Let's not kid ourselves.
Be nice.
He'll do it again. He's a superhero. Instead, he gives it to Miller. A little firm.
But look, another offensive rebound. Those are just killers. I should have kicked that one out.
A carry from Bean. Nothing on Stretch Armstrong, though.
No, I mean, I know the reference.
Craig Smith, 68 wins as the head coach here, the Mountain West Coach of the Year in 2019.
His first year here, they did not have an assistant coach with hair on staff. It was a big thing for him. We're bald and we're beautiful. He is a peach. What a great personality he's got. Or that 10 Miles basketball family.
Off the mark, the miss from Cambridge. Nevada 5 of 18 from the floor. Cambridge is 1 for 6. Just can't get going. Some hot shooting of late. Utah State warming up. The score certainly shows it. Let's watch Nimi go to work. There's a little bit of help now. And so Bean, from his midsection, launches that one. Minutes till these teams head into the locker room. That's a firm pass to Coleman.
Well, they're doing a great job on Grant Sherfield, going over screens and running them into Nimi Keita. The kid is about as good as anyone in college basketball at scoring and creating off a ball screen. He's done very little so far.
So Grant's got 3 points, 3 turnovers. Offensive foul.
And 1 flop that Vern Harris bought into. I mean, that was... I think Marco Anthony probably charged, but yeah, that's a terrible thing. He sold it really well.
Vern Harris, David Hall, Chris Rastatter. Good crew. We've seen them the last couple. Well, you've worked like 4 games in the last 2 days.
I mean, David was in with Vegas with us 2 nights ago, yes. Right? So was Chris, and then Chris was in San Diego last night with me.
Come on now, seriously?
We should have carpooled. Vern Harris, of course, officiated Final Fours. David Hall, West Coast stud. Chris Rastetter. Last night we had was it 1 or was it 2 or was it 3? Boise sent overtime on a contested 3-point shot. Beautiful cut.
Shulgin takes advantage on that cut. Bounce pass, Marco Anthony. It's there for Sherfield. Beautiful again, up and under, using the window. He's got 5. As we said, he's got those 3 turnovers. He's got a rebound, Grant does, and an assist. The Texan. You should offer them a seat on Air Gottlieb on your private flyer.
It's not how we roll.
Shulgin clears space from Milling.
Matt Hoover sitting there going, he flew private? No, I'm fly private. Stop.
Got to pull it together. It almost gave me
I had a friend who had a G5 who went to Park City. That's what we did. Yes.
Turnover is part of the story. 15 between these 2 teams. They'll tell you, too many, way too many. Again, there have been looks, just not conversions. Hines has earned his look. So is Washington against Keita. Despite the 4 blocks, Anderson, boom. Alfonso with the triple. Time out.
Well, it's one thing to hit those threes and to play defense, but sharing, Darren, sharing is caring. Utah State cares.
Steve from the private jet. Sometimes there's just nothing to say. I mean, if that's the way you want to enjoy the game, enjoy it. The next best choice to make is to go to Doug Gottlieb for some analysis.
So how are they getting these layups? I want you to keep an eye on Grant Sherfield, 25. He's guarding number 11, Max Shuga. Well, he was guarding him. Look, he's like, my bad. Like, my bad doesn't count. You're ball watching. You got, what's the old adage when you learn as a kid? Ball you man. He was, you know, some of these younger, this is a very young and inexperienced Nevada team.
Coming off a 2-week rest, too, which is a
coming off 2 weeks off.
Thing.
But what happens is some of these little tricks that an older Utah State team learns, they're learning on the fly. You cannot watch the basketball as if it's a light and you're a moth.
Yeah, we talked about this when we came on the air. I mean, this is an opportunity. You take a look at the net rating. The remaining games, as we mentioned, are these 2 with Nevada, Wyoming, and at Fresno State. When you look at that, Gottlieb, just remind all of our viewers what they have to do to get, you know, is it also win a couple 3 games in the tournament as well?
Well, look, here's the thing. I feel like at Fox and you know, all the networks that cover this, that's a bad pass. Right play, wrong, bad pass. And Sherfield is not playing particularly well. And he's, again, I'm a fan. He ain't playing well right now. He's got to shake it off. Start over. Drag it over to the trash, put it in the trash, and then empty the trash in the computer, if you will. I'm not sure that people have a healthy respect for what Utah State was doing, 1, on the road at Boise, and 2, without their point guard. So, what they need to do, they need to win. You sweep these two. I think they have one more. What? Fresno was the added-on game.
Yes.
And they got Wyoming. No, Wyoming here.
Wyoming home,
Yes.
Fresno road.
Yeah. You win those 4, you get to the conference semifinals. You have no bad losses. They'll be fine. But they do need Raleigh Worcester.
And just to remind you who Raleigh Worcester is, he's a former legend and a big-time high school football player in Montana.
In Missoula.
So here's the funny thing. This is the huge compliment to Worcester as we move him back down the court. Doug's talking about a freshman, folks, that they need a freshman. That's how impactful he's been.
I mean, like, look, he was a 2A player in the state of Montana. And a football star and a basketball star, and now he's the star here. But I mean, he's just cool hand Luke. Nothing phases him.
Speaking of cool hand, Des Cambridge.
And
Wow.
so this is still a good team. Okay? But it's an outstanding team when they have their point guard in place.
Yeah, talking about Utah State and the talented play of Raleigh Worcester. Hellgate High School. We saw him have an amazing game, Doug and I did, against UNLV. Beautiful passing. Big man passing.
Same high school as Trace Tinkle. Of course, started at Oregon State. His dad, Wayne.
So, when you think about Nimi Keita and you saw what just happened there, remind yourself as Cambridge comes back.
He's heating up. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
No, go on.
Keita's got 3 assists per game, my friend, as a big fella.
Well, yeah, because you double him. And
it's a fun little battle. He's asking for the basketball. Finally, some physical fight in the paint. And he's enjoying it. In the blood flowing. That looked really, really easy. I'm wondering if the same had looked at home, folks. Off the glass, Nimi Keita, future pro.
they're just running bodies at him now, right? Using DeAndre Henry on him. Just trying to find somebody who can stop the bleeding a little bit inside on Nimi Keita.
13-point lead.
Wow.
Oh, Sherfield, was that spectacular.
That was one of the best misses. I've missed layups I've seen.
A is for Anderson. A triple for Alfonso. Hands in the stands, about 1,600 socially distanced. Utah State will tell you. Yeah, he grabbed that one off the cylinder.
Now, Alfonso Anderson got the start. He's taking advantage. A stretch four, and look at him holding that follow through. Got to let it breathe. And then Desmond Cambridge. This guy's a bucket. He and Grant Sherfield can single-handedly bring this team back.
Somewhat of a mistake, kid. Obviously, the crowd hollering from behind. It was coming out. It for sure was coming out, but he still grabbed it off the cylinder. Well off the mark. Shulga gives it an effort, keeps it alive somehow. Max Shulga.
They are just dominating on the offensive glass.
A little push there defensively. As Nimi Keita went to work.
So, Nimi Keita, of course, from Portugal, and you would think, well, you come to Logan, Utah, how many people speak Portuguese? But, you know, in his recruiting class, there were 4 kids that had done missions either in Brazil or, you know, Miller had done one in Argentina. He spoke Portuguese. So it's weird. Like, you come to Logan, Utah, and you think you won't feel at home. And by the way, Miller just left the game and went up the hallway. We'll see what his condition is coming out of the half.
Good catch there, Doug. We could see him walking up and disappearing into the locker room.
Remember, you're playing at altitude here in Logan. Now, Nevada plays at altitude as well. Not as much altitude as in Logan. Cache Valley, just a beautiful part of the country. We had a light snow earlier today. It's like something out of a movie. It's like being a snowblower.
It was beautiful. Keita, 10 points, 8 rebounds, 3 blocks. I want to give him 4, but 3 officially. I'm still going to want to give him 4.
This is going to be Grant Sherfield off a high ball screen.
Nearly carried it, held on to the basketball. Poor possession.
He's mad at Kane Milling, and he's right. Kane Milling should have cut, and he's just standing watching. And Sherfield having a very frustrating first half, which is not Kane Milling's fault, but not cutting is Kane Milling's fault.
Ashworth dumps it. Shulga rings in and out. Tried to go off glass with that one. Maybe didn't try, but he nearly did.
He does it all, folks. He scores. He blocks shots. He passes. Nikita putting on a show here in Logan.